Assalamu alaikum. Pray you guys are well. Good to see everyone. Sorry for the little um we had some technical difficulties.
You're still having technical issues. There you go.
Okay. Alright, bro. Are we in Mari now?
We're in a nice place.
Mashallah, brilliant. Alright. That's Sabur on Omad.
Actually, do you know what would be good to discuss today, Isa?
Yeah.
What would be good to discuss is we just did something in terms of the live stream, something that people think is awkward or something different, which is like going live with like a skeleton there in the first place. That's a memory. That's a memory that people remember. They actually remember that, yeah. So what we can go over today is what are some people's vivid childhood memories, because I think that's a very powerful topic.
Yeah, that's a very powerful topic. You know, the your vivid, powerful memory can't be like you dancing somewhere or something like that, right? It has to be connected to something Islamic or something beneficial to everybody. Okay, and Jazakallah khair. So,
Don't worry, you carry on.
yeah, and so basically, we have to basically make sure that that when you come on, like there's a few rules, right? When you come on to the live stream and you come on to the studio and you want to speak on the show, don't come on and say, "Oh, what's the topic, brothers?" Right? Because it's like it's disrespectful. We don't get offended or anything, but it's like you don't even know what the topic is. You're coming on and then you're like, "Oh, what's the topic?" Right? So listen to it carefully. If you think that you can provide benefit and stuff and you've got good things to contribute, then please do so, inshallah. And so let's just start off. Subur, what is basically a vivid memory that you have from childhood?
I want to hear yours first because I'm just going through the comments and I'll get warmed up.
I need to pick something. Oh, subhanallah, you know what? I got one bad memory actually. But this is a crazy story, but it's a lesson. We learn a lot from it as well. So basically, and I'm sure a lot of people will know this. This is quite common in like Asian families and stuff like that. Sometimes when your uncles or something, they're similar age to you, you spend a lot of time with them. Like you're like cousins or friends, basically, right? So my mamu, basically, my mum's brother, he our age difference wasn't that much. It was about 13 years or something, which is not massive, right? So we would live in the same house together. Obviously, me, my grandparents, and everyone. And basically, this was in Bangladesh. Okay, so what we did was we would always like go out to eat, alhamdulillah, and chill out and stuff like that. So there was this, in countries like Bangladesh and Pakistan, especially like 20 years ago, yeah, a lot of stuff was still emerging. Like there weren't these new like malls and stuff like that, and like PlayStation and stuff like that. Everything was coming up right now. So everything's changed. Like Pakistan, Bangladesh, these countries are more advanced in some places than even UK, right? Because everything's been built new. So basically, we went and there was this new shop that opened, right? And basically, we went there and we were looking around. We're like, what should we get? And I remember we ate in Wimpy. The Wimpy franchise had opened there then, like 20 years ago, right? Then now obviously still exists in UK, but they were still expanding. It was really good. Like it was really nice, by the way. Yeah. So next to it, a shop had opened, right? I could still remember it was called Lavender Gifts or something. Yeah. And we went in there, bro, and we we bought these masks. Yeah, like really scary masks. And we were like, let's just buy it. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna like joke around with it and stuff. Yeah. And we bought these masks, and then I remember I bought this set of books. Like I was really young, and I loved coding, and these coding books came out, and I was so silly, right? I bought like all seven of the books. I was like, I want all of them. And I think I convinced my grandma to buy them for me, and my uncle was like, no, he's a programmer now. He's a very high-end programmer, mashallah, works in London, and he was like, don't buy these, it's silly. You're not even gonna read them. Just get one. And I bought all seven, and he bought the masks, right? And so then we were driving back home, and he's like, "Oh, it's gonna be really funny. Let me just wear this mask and drive the car." And we were doing funny stuff, like we put the mask on, and we were driving the car, and then we got to the house, okay. And now, we had a few people who worked in the house as well. One of the guys, and this is very common in Pakistan as well. Someone works near the gate. Basically, they look after the cars, opening and closing the gate, and look after all the other stuff, right? So basically, what happened was my uncle said, you know what, let's scare him, yeah, as a joke. Yeah. But you have to understand something. People from the village, and this is something we just don't understand nowadays because we live in the West and with all this technology and stuff. When people come from the village, they haven't seen things before, right? They have not seen sometimes scary movies. When you hear that a scary movie came out and people died like 30, 40 years ago, the stories are true, by the way,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah, yeah.
Because some people have heart attacks and stuff and they've never seen it before, right? We've adapted to them over time. So basically, what we did, my uncle said, what? Not only is this mask not enough, I'm gonna get like a white cloth as well and wrap it around my body, right? So I'm just completely thingy. And alhamdulillah, we had mashallah, quite a big house there with a garden and everything from like 100 years ago. It was inherited by a family, right? So basically, we started. My uncle started running around like in different parts of the garden before certain trees and making noises and like coming in from the garden, disappearing and coming back and disappearing, right? And he was telling me, you chuck rocks to distract him. And we did this whole thing, and we were really young then, yeah. And we did this whole thing, and then basically all I remember was the next day, my granddad coming to the room so angry. He was like, "What have you guys done? That guy's got 104 degrees temperature or something. He's shivering. He wants to go back to his village." And then my granddad went up to him and he ripped the mask and he said, "Look, it's not real. It wasn't." He thought it was an actual jinn chasing him and thinking. And me and my
Oh my
uncle, we were like, "What on?" And then, bro, he like went back to his village and
Oh
stuff like
my
that.
God.
But we realized from that obviously we didn't know this either. That obviously the family knew and stuff, but we didn't know that. Subhanallah, look what can happen, like, right? And so me and my uncle, we were both like in shock and everything. Or my granddad was crazy. The guy went back, and we both looked at each other and we were like, "Oh man, we need to buy more masks."
That's a really, I can imagine that. I mean, I'm from a village
Yeah,
originally in
exactly.
Murray, and my like, I can imagine somebody in the village who's been in the village for a very long time. You turn up one day with even that mask that's over there, yeah, and people sometimes haven't seen stuff like that, something that sophisticated, and they can
Someone said,
choke, choke. Chokidar.
for those of you who don't know what that means, Chokidar is basically the guy who basically looks after your door and makes sure whoever goes in and out.
Yeah.
So they're just taking the actor. But anyways, I think that's subhanallah. This is not. I don't know how we can benefit from this. I guess the one way we can benefit from this is actually number one. You're not supposed to scare people. Yeah, it's not actually from the Sunnah. Just so you guys know,
Mm.
you're not supposed to scare people because it can have really bad effects, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if someone dies, right? What are you going to do? Number one. And number two is that you have to understand different cultures and societies and people, and this can be very helpful for the dawah. Sometimes you might be giving dawah and explaining concepts which they just won't understand or connect to, right? Because they just don't think like that. And basically, so these are, I guess, that's what we can take away. Number one, don't scare people. Number two, don't you have to understand what kinds of different cultures and different people have different understandings. They have different lifestyles where they come from, right? So you can connect to people in different levels. So come on, your story. What is it?
I think. Okay, so it's not childhood, but it's kind of like teens. So I remember I was 14 years old, and I went to Pakistan, and I remember it distinctly. It was a very different experience. It was 1999. The reason why I remember it is because, you know, when you're 14, 15, your mind's quite perceptive, your mind's quite, you start going from like, you're definitely not a child anymore, you're an adult, a grown adult, and you start looking at the world. I'm not sure if how many people, I mean, I'm guessing this is a very common trend, but I'm guessing a lot of people here, they have vivid memories of as a child when they travel to another country, or if they live in the West, they travel back to their homeland, and just how different things are. I think that's one thing I remember. And actually, even in 2001, when I was like 16, I remember going to Pakistan, and just the way the society functions, the way people are, is so different. It's like a different universe almost, yeah. And the experiences, the sounds, the sights, just how family is structured. You know, I think those things really stick with you. Also, I remember as a child, and Alhamdulillah, you know, my father, may Allah give him Jannah, he used to really emphasize that, you know, we're originally from Pakistan, we need to go to Pakistan. I think that's my brother Noor.
Is that Noor? Noor, is that you?
Noor, is that you?
Noor, say something that we'll know it's you or not.
Yeah, let's
You
see if
just,
it's-
just
let's
one
see if
word
it's-
or one sentence.
Let's see if it's Noor. And by the way, he's in Pakistan right now, funnily enough. No. What do you mean no? Is this
It's
Noor?
not him.
Oh, it's not him. Okay, my brother's name is Noor Ahmed. So I don't-
Brother is Murad. Objection. The TV looks like it's from the 90s.
yeah. So anyway, one of the things I remember, Isa, as a childhood memory when I was in Pakistan, is I remember going to my basically, long story short, I was at my on a street where my grandfather used to live. I was maybe 9 years old, right? And I remember that there was a plot of houses in Islamabad, and there was a one plot which is empty. There was no house there. So people used to throw rubbish there and just used to be a derelict place. I remember seeing people go there, rummage through the rubbish, find like a banana, not banana, sorry, like an orange. They'd rip off the part which is gone off, and they'd have some the fresh part, and they would eat it. I remember seeing that, and I remember once seeing a woman who did that, and the woman was very poor, like maybe in her 60s. That really shocked me, because you have to remember that, like, especially if you're growing up in the Western world, things like that are like unbelievable. You've never seen that on the streets of London. You've never seen someone go and pick up rubbish and you know, eat it and stuff.
That's so sad.
Yeah, there's some really things like this will stick with you. But one more thing I would say as well is, as a child, I remember my first religious experience as a child, and that was when I was, I don't know, maybe 9, 10. I remember it was Isha time, and I looked up at the stars, and there was a black night with these stars, and there wasn't light pollution, because I was just seeing it clear. And I remember just at that moment, even as a child, thinking, oh, Allah's looking at me. Yeah. So as a child, I remember that distinct feeling. Oh, I'm being, you know, I'm in this connection with Allah. And you know, that's why I really think that, you know, raising your children in an Islamic environment where your fitrah is undamaged, yeah, uncovered rather, is very important to you know, instill those religious experiences in them.
Yeah. Really,
Should we start inviting guests, because we've been on 15 minutes?
see the comments.
Someone said,
Top 10 anime plot twists.
I don't watch anime.
Name one plot twist.
Plot twist or anime? I don't know any plot twist.
Come on, what anime have you watched?
Huh? I don't watch anime.
I think the biggest plot twist would probably be Reiner's reveal. Whoever knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Right, what's next? I know
Okay.
these late night talks on the sidewalk on the street hit different there. Yeah, that's so true, man. SubhanAllah.
What does that mean? I don't know what it means.
I know those late night talks on the sidewalks of the street hit different there. It's like this is a common theme that you do even probably in Pakistan. You know when you walk with somebody on the streets and you're just discussing these things. We've done it so many times in Amsterdam, all these other places.
Amsterdam? Oh, okay. Let's not. Where were we?
This is our mission, man, in Amsterdam.
We were in
Remember?
Rotterdam. Were we not?
No, man.
We were in Rotterdam.
Bro.
It wasn't Amsterdam. Where we stayed in that hotel, where you were staying in the room,
Bro,
where it
that
looked
was
like
not Rotterdam. It was Amsterdam. I'm telling you.
Okay. You're talking about when you and Mello and these guys were in the basement.
Yeah.
Me and Hamza
Yes.
upstairs. That was Rotterdam. You
I know it was Amsterdam.
okay? You can ask Saqib.
Okay, we'll ask him. Right, what else?
And that room where Isa was staying, it was somebody was hotboxing in there before these guys. Everything, the carpet, the curtains, everything stank of weed. It's horrible.
Someone said Elena. All right, you won't get that. Anyways, bro, you know,
Wait, look at that. Look
like,
at my granddad. Look at that one.
oh, okay, that's quite interesting.
Is there some?
My granddad
My
died
da- oh, subhanallah.
in the car. My cousin asked my uncle about the angels in the grave. This was 95. My cousin asked, "Can you hear them, uncle? Can you see them?"
Subhanallah. May Allah give him Jannah.
Look outside and make dua. Where are you coming to Netherlands with Jesus exhibition? Netherlands, I'm not sure, bro. With COVID, it's just crazy. If you don't know,
Invite guests.
Yeah, guys. Where's the link? It's just here. Guys, you can, brothers, just join inshallah, and you can comment and stuff. How to fight against dog? Bro, please just answer this. I'm not leaving this live stream until you answer this question.
Listen, firstly, when somebody asks that question, if you don't have your grammar right, it makes it additionally funny. So, how do you fight against dog? Now, when you say against dogs, that's normal. But when you say against dog, it makes it look like there's one overall Iblis dog somewhere who is like the number one Don. And how do you fight against him? I would say, you I don't know. How do you fight against dogs?
It's the dog from Hunter x Hunter.
I don't even know what that film is.
But I think what they say about fighting dogs is that if a dog is coming at you, you have to break its legs, or you have to like grab it and rip up. This is actually not that you go and hurt and abuse dogs, but if a dog is attacking you, in a situation where you can't do anything, right? You're supposed to grab the legs and rip it apart.
Bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah, of course, man. Like there's famous people who've done it. Like in situations where they get attacked, or
but this must be a life-death situation. You can't just attack a dog.
That's what
like the dog's coming up to you and just starting to do a little bit of attack. So you just punch it or get it away.
Okay, so who's gonna punch a dog, guys? Just
no, I mean it's like pretty crazy. Kill it, but
okay. Anyways, let's bring the people on, inshallah. All right, let's start with Al Yaman Zogol. Or who should we start with? Go on, you do it.
Okay, so the topic today is Isa.
A vivid memory from your childhood.
Vivid memory from your childhood. Who are you talking to? Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
How's your day going?
Alhamdulillah, it's near the end of the day here in the UK.
Oh, really? What time is it over there?
It's 7:30 maybe.
Oh, 7:30.
Yeah. How's you? You're from the States, right?
Yeah, I'm from the States.
All right.
God bless the States.
Well, actually, that's not. I mean, one thing I really like about America is that it's openly religious. Yeah. So, I mean, I was in Texas a few years ago. And, that's quite a religious state as well. And it's I actually like it. I actually like it. Like, you go somewhere and people say God bless you, or it's just here.
Yeah.
God bless Britain. No one says. If a politician said that, it would sound so bizarre. But God bless America. It's a wide belief. So not belief. I'm saying. So I like that.
It's very interesting over here because it is kind of sad because there's
Sorry,
a part
he's having a fit of laughter. He's just read a comment. Kick it chin.
Why don't you guys speak in proper English? Sticks and stones. Stand still. Oh man.
They're making a rap video.
Bro, it's too funny, man. SubhanAllah.
I said some of the people here. Call Khabib. What if I get more? What is going on?
Okay, you know what, brother Al Yaman, answer this question, please.
Okay.
Let's
see. It's a very. Here's the thing with me. Okay, I honestly, like when I was young, I was kind of the person who was like a product of my parents' teaching, really. And alhamdulillah, like my parents taught me like all the solid Islamic stuff. But then I listened to Dr. Zakir Naik, and this probably was like several years ago. And for me, it was something that really solidified my faith, especially the scientific miracles part. And sadly, though, there was some problem with that, and the biggest problem with that was I started realizing that my iman would go low, even though I thought like, hey, there's always scientific miracles in the Quran, which I could base my belief on at the end of the day, um, and really did lead to low iman. And that's one experience that's really stayed with me. And like I've actually done some research about, and I've listened to a lot of Sabur Ahmed's videos and Brother Hamza Zortz's videos, and now I really know what our position should be, and it's a
Yeah,
lot more fruitful.
yeah. A lot of people find that a bit problematic in the beginning because unfortunately, that's the wrong approach to take, right? With all the
Uh-huh.
scientific miracle stuff and making it so big. That's why Hamza he's a big advocate of like saying that guys stop doing the science thing. It doesn't
Yeah,
make any sense because that theory is going to change tomorrow. Then what are you going to do? What are you going to say, right? You
that's
might
true.
find out, and you might so they say that this is what's happening in science, and the Quran says the same thing. Okay, for example, right? But you've
Yeah,
claimed that this verse means that it's the scientific thing. Then the scientific theory changes, right? They said no, this is what happens. Okay, and this happens in science. And for
yeah,
100 years now, all of these people are going to be like, no, the Quran said this, but now they've changed it. But then after say 80 years, they change it back, and they say no,
yeah,
this is how it happens, right? Then you say, oh, it's
yeah,
in line with the Quran, right? So it's just problematic. There's no point doing that because even these verses, a lot of them are being interpreted to
yeah.
mean it's that scientific miracle. So
And,
it's just best to stay clear.
and it's even flawed sometimes. Like once I was watching and of course mashallah, Dr. Zakir Naik is an amazing person, and like
Of course.
probably he's one of the best. I don't want to say Christian scholar, but scholars of Christianity that could give dawah very easily. But once he even made like a blunder concerning the definition of a scientific theory, and that could have been very detrimental to his argument of using science. But yeah, that's my experience really. I used to depend on science to justify my faith, but now it's a lot more powerful than that.
Yeah, it's brilliant, man. Jazakallah khair. That's really
But
good.
yeah,
I can relate to that. Jazakallah khair. All right, bro. Assalamu alaikum. بس عبد القدوس واحد السلام
Oh,
عليكم. It's fine.
walaikum salam. Sorry, brother. You caught me at a
It's
bit
all
of
right.
a
It's all right.
complicated thing. But I'm just enjoying my
Oh, what are you
fish.
eating?
Uh,
What are you eating?
I'm eating basically fish made by my mother-in-law. So I'm just hoping I'm not going to get any food poisoning after that. So
No, man.
make dua for me, inshallah.
You're 100% from Bangladesh.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a quick message because I never get
Go ahead.
around to say that. Basically, I just want to say, Jazakallah khair for all the great work that both yourself and Subir do on, really, clarifying our minds about, some of the things that, puts us in a situation where we end up in paradox, and we're led in a situation where in distress and trauma, and I feel like, just saying based on my experience that, there came a point for me in my time in my life where, basically just on the subject of childhood that. I actually went through atheism at a young age. Subhanallah. I wouldn't say atheism, I would say agnosticism, but it took me in a place where I lost myself, and I never thought that there would ever come a day where like a group of brothers would be together intellectual and really elucidate our mind. So I'm really grateful that honest to God. And really and truly I just want to also ask just a little separate one regarding the Quran. Um, Basically, I just have this kind of confusion sometimes, not regarding the deen, but regarding how when people explain about the Quran and the miraculous nature, often there's a lot of emphasis about the Quran being scientific miracle, and then many years later, we Muslims become really confused where certain verses does not really allude to science; it means something else. And so, what I wanted to ask is like, how would you say, in simple terms, generally, like when we encounter non-Muslim and have like a starting point about when explaining to them that the miraculous nature of the Quran, what angle should we start from generally when it comes to like explaining to them why is it that the Quran is miraculous. Because reason why I say this, because I've had some dialogue with atheists myself, and they say a lot of things like, how can you say well, it doesn't mean anything if the Quran been preserved, because look at Shakespeare's work. He's been preserved for many years as well, and he's been seen as one of the greatest writers of all time. So that doesn't make any difference to the Quran, like making it out like it's divine, because if that's the case, then Shakespeare work must be divine as well. The way his literary style and so forth. And then they come up pushing different things as well, and then it becomes really difficult to like reason with them. So so I just wanted to just know, like, generally what could be a really good starting point,
Yeah, of course,
to
inshallah.
really capture that understanding, like the miraculous nature of the Quran.
Okay,
And I'm just going to go back to my fish.
No worries, inshallah. I'm going to run through it quickly for you, inshallah. But Jazakallah khair, I think it's definitely people like Sabur and the others who do all of this work. I don't do anything. I mean, I make a few videos here and there. May Allah bless them all, inshallah. So what I would say for you is that the first approach that you take with a person is that you actually bring them to the fundamentals, right? So the first fundamental is, which we teach in IRA, which is go rap, right? God, oneness, revelation, and prophethood. Go rap. Okay, so first you'd come from the angle of God, right? So you say, look, let's start with the universe, right? Was the universe always there? It can't be eternal. Did it create itself? It can't. It has to be there, not be there at the same time. Did it come from nothing? What experience do you have in life or anything where you see something come from nothing? There must be an all-powerful energy, right? Or some sort of thing that forms some sort of creation. And then you go into that and you go into all the different aspects. I can't run into all of them now. And then when you say that this energy must have a will because there's laws in the universe, it must have intellect and stuff like that, and they agree, and you say, look, does it not fit with Islam, right? With all the other stuff, it doesn't make sense to you. So you go into God, then oneness, then revelation, then prophethood, and then you go through all of them. Especially with the Quran, I think the most important thing is that the greatest miracle, right, is the linguistic miracle of the Quran, right, which is the inimitability of the Quran. Now, the Shakespeare example is ridiculous because everyone can write like Shakespeare, right? I can say, "Where art thou?" right, and I can write like a Shakespearean sonnet or something. People even say it wasn't even him, right? They say it was a group of writers or something. So we don't know, right? But with the Quran, right, the best example that I can give you, which is the most simplest example, right, is this. I can tell you, brother Abdul Qudus, make a pizza for me, okay? Here's the dough, here's the tomato sauce, here's the jalapenos, here's the cheese, and here's the oven, okay? So you just take that, you put it together, you put it in the oven, you make the pizza and give it to me. You have all the tools, right? But when you make the pizza, it's nothing like my pizza, even though me and you have the same ingredients, okay? That would be a bit bizarre, right? Like we both have the same thing in front of us, we have the same oven in front of us, but we're not making the same pizza, right? So the same thing with the Quran and imitability, when Allah says bring a verse like it, it's the same concept. We have the tools, which is the Arabic language. We have the poetry of the times of them. We have the poetry and the prose, and we have all these different things that happen inside the poetry. We know the style, we know the writing style, we have everything. The challenge is that nobody to this day has been able to produce anything like the Quran, right? So that's the biggest miracle that I would say, the linguistic miracle, and there are many others inside it. We have some of the historical miracles as well and other stuff, alhamdulillah. But the first thing I would come is from the approach of God, then into oneness, revelation, and then prophethood, and then take it from linguistic miracle, and that should do it for you, inshallah.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Enjoy your meal now. Enjoy your meal.
Yeah, thank you for that, man. Just halfway through, man. Pray for me and see what happens tomorrow. Take care, my brother.
Okay, Wasim, we'll bring you on, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys doing?
Alhamdulillah. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So, my story is similar to, another brother who came on earlier. My parents kind of taught me about Islam. I grew up watching Zakir Naik's videos, and, really the scientific miracles, kind of caught my eye a lot. And it was all very good. But I think when I saw, Hamza sources and Brother Sabur, and Muhammad Hijab's videos, and I think that kind of gave me a better understanding as well, as to be more grounded in Islam rather than believe in.
Sorry, brother. Did you mention Imran Hussein?
I'm sorry.
Did you mention Imran Hussein, or was it just Sabur and Muhammad Hijab?
Imran Hussein as well.
Oh,
okay. No worries.
It's alright. He's just joking. Go ahead.
So I think all of these arguments are very very sound, and that gives you kind of like an understanding that you should be basing your faith mostly in Islam rather than trusting in science, because science is always changing, and it's even a scientific fact is not really, it can change. So I think that was really good. Now I, after listening to those arguments, started studying about Islam, and looking more into it, and I'm learning Arabic now, and trying to I've read Quran multiple times, but trying to understand Quran, and I'm taking a course on Hadith. Now my question is really, how do young Muslims who have less time, I guess I'm a physician, but and I have some time on hand on the weekends, so how do young people approach this, try to better their knowledge, and how do they approach dawah, meaning should we first go on studying the Quran, which we do obviously, but then what are the other the sequence? For example, should we go from tafsir to fiqh to
Yeah.
aqidah to
Okay.
like what kind of order?
I think I know what your question is, inshallah, and I'll answer it. I think what I would say is that, and this is for everyone, I think it's quite important. Oh wait, let me just. I don't think people like the background. Just give me-
And also maybe some of the Quranic courses that you guys have taken, Brother Sabur, or any non-Arabic speaking person who has taken that kind of
Yeah.
help them.
So basically, what I would say is that look, don't. It's best not to overcomplicate the dawah, right? So there's basically two parts that you have, right? One is basically your part of seeking knowledge, right, where you're basically studying Islam, you're studying tafsir, fiqh, aqidah, whatever you want to study, right? Okay, and that's really good, mashallah. Do that, or Quran, tajweed, whatever, right? And then you have dawah as well. Now, dawah is not necessarily. It's not like you have to do this to get to dawah. This is the biggest misconception. The Prophet ﷺ said, convey from me even if you know one verse from the Quran. If that's all you knew, convey it from me, okay? So basically, what I would say is that the best thing you can do, right? And I'm sure, like you do study in English and other languages, but in English, the best course that I know of is training.ira.org. Not because I just work there, but also because I do think it's probably one of the best in the world. So training.iera.org, right? And you can go there and you can do the whole course. Now, this course basically is based on Sheikh Abdul Green and all these other people and their experience over the years, right? So you can learn a lot. And you start your dawah with that. But at the same time, you go on your path of seeking knowledge as well, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah for that.
Barakallah feek. No problem, inshallah.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Take care. Assalamu alaikum. All right. Next is Ismail, then Brother Nasir, then Arsalan. So I'm going to go one by one. Okay. So Ismail next. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How's it going?
Very good. I believe the beginning, the first topic you had was vivid childhood memories or something like
Yes. Jazakallah khair for coming back to that.
that. Yeah. Okay. I was a bit confused. So for me, one of my most vivid childhood memories, which was an Islamic one, was the first time I went to Fajr prayer with my dad at the masjid. I was very young. I think I was like 11 years old. I've never been to the mosque at Fajr time. I remember one day, it was during Ramadan. I woke up. My dad was getting ready to go to Fajr. I made my mind up to go with him. And then when I went with him, I just went inside the masjid. I prayed. It was a very spiritual feeling, and being an 11-year-old, that was very very weird for me. I've never felt that before. I remember after that, I went to sleep. I woke up around Dhuhr time for Dhuhr prayer. I remember focusing in my prayer like so much. I've never done that before. So, and I was only 11 years old, so this was like very, very strange for me. So, to answer your question, my biggest, like most vivid memory was just that, going to the Fajr prayer, coming back, going to sleep, waking up, praying Dhuhr. It was just like amazing, and I was only 11, so that was my biggest memory.
That's amazing.
Inshallah. And these memories always stick with you, even though at the age of 11, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Ismail.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
No problem. Assalamu alaikum. All right, next is Brother Nasir. Let me bring you on. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my brothers?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. How are you doing?
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I've been doing dawah now for a couple of years. I wasn't always practicing, but like your subject is, mind asylum. It's sometimes it's Allah who does all this. It something clicks in your mind. Your inclination that you should be doing something. And when you run towards worldly things all the time, you get away from the akhirah. So I've been doing dawah a little bit in markets with my wife. So when the ladies ask questions, my wife sort of answers their questions, and when the men come, I sort of take over. Just a couple of questions. I've got a granddaughter who's 6 years old. She's trying to be Hafiz al-Quran after seeing Maryam and Fatima's video, so I've been teaching her as well. And she, children 6 years old, they come up with some really unusual questions, which are sometimes you can't answer or try to explain to them in the right way. There's just two questions. The ones have already been asked. I asked Brother Hamza on his Hamza's arena, and he kindly explained to me, which was nice. The other question she asked me was, and I've been trying to do some research on it, and maybe you can shed some light on it, is that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that on the day of judgment you will be rewarded and punished. And she was asking me, Nana, why will Allah also punish us in the grave as well? That Rabbana atina fi dunya, we will be rewarded in this world and in the akhirah. But then at the same time, we will also pray that Allah save us from the punishment of the grave as well. Now she's saying, will we be punished in the grave as well and rewarded in the grave as well? If so, then why in the akhirah as well? Could you shed some light on this, brothers, for me, please?
Okay, so what I would say, firstly, before I give my answer, Jazakallah khair for joining us. I'm a little bit worried about giving an answer because obviously I don't deal with, kids' questions. It's a different arena. I would say generally, I do want to give a picture. You see, at the age that she is, she's not at the level that she could understand what are evil sins, such as killing, rape, murder, drinking. She doesn't understand. Yet we're introducing her to the concept of Allah punishing. Yeah. So, and this is a very typical thing within the Asian subcontinent, that sometimes we can overemphasize the punishment. I'm not saying you're doing it, however, that can come across. So I would say we need to just, at this age, maybe, and I definitely recommend you look up other stuff. I could be totally wrong here. You just say that, look, that's for like evil people. And when you're older, you'll understand. But the thing is, you don't need to answer the question too much. Because what you really want her to do is to understand Allah is Ar-Rahman, Allah is Ar-Rahim. And then as she gets older, and then children, then they have a moral compass. That's evil, that's good. At the moment, she doesn't do that. At the moment, evil for her is a high school bully. Evil for her is the witch in Frozen. But I just made that up. Yeah, I don't even know if there's a witch in Frozen.
You've seen Frozen, basically.
I'm just saying. And
don't go into a song or anything right now,
Yeah. And then
you will.
And then for her to understand punishment, it goes over her head. Yeah. So I would say do it that way. Right now, don't focus on those questions. Get her to focus more on the love of Allah, and later on, then you can explain to her. Because I think it's like, you don't want to make her think that Allah's just there to just punish people, and that does sometimes happen. We've come across cases like that where people all their life they think, that Allah, they think of Allah as some sort of cosmic head teacher. Yeah, and we don't want that. I mean, Allah introduces himself as Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. That's his introduction and everything. So that's very important. And of course, when she's older, slightly older, then she'll start to see there's evil things happen in the world. And then Jannah and Jahannam make a lot more sense, especially Jahannam. But anyway, I don't know after that, Isa.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, I think what we know is that Prophet said that in the grave, that basically if somebody goes in a person from the person of if someone from paradise enters the grave, someone who's destined for paradise, a window from Jannah opens in their grave, and basically and the grave is as far as the eye can see. And it basically, and their good deeds come in the form of a person, all the salah that they prayed, and it's like that. But for the person who is not, it's so much so that their ribs will go into each other. So from that, and I think a lot of other hadiths we know about the punishment of the grave and stuff, and yeah. But I think Sabur is right. Generally, show her about what was right for her age right now. But before we stop, I want to ask you one thing. How do you get a beard like that?
I never had a beard before. Never. 6 years ago, I never had a beard. I was always clean shaven. I wasn't on the right path,
Yeah.
but Allah guided me. Alhamdulillah. I went for Hajj, and I just before Hajj, I practiced and to how to do the Hajj and memorize some surahs and started learning the Quran. And the beard just grow. And then at the time, I got diagnosed with prostate cancer, and it was they gave me 6 months. Well, the doctors gave me 6 months, but Allah knows best.
Allah.
This was 2015, and when I had to go for my chemotherapy, all my hair and my beard, and I was hurt more losing my beard than the cancer itself, or the suffering I was going through. I thought, oh my God, at Hajj, and when I came back, I had a beautiful beard, and now it's all gone, and how it's going to come back in patches. Will it ever come back? I don't know. I love the beard so much, but in Allah's wisdom, alhamdulillah, it's come all back.
Oh, mashallah, Mike, it's come back amazing.
You
All beard model.
But you, mashallah, have beautiful beard. Brother Sabur has very, mashallah, beautiful brother. Has a good beard as well. And just one more question before not a question, just a comment I want to make. Brother Sabur, I watch all your videos on YouTube as well, and I was astonished how you dissect or pull apart these atheist allusions of there is no God, and it's amazing. I mean, some of the quotations and the words you come out with. I'm not very academic, but I think well done. We got a brother, a Muslim brother. He's very, and your debates as well. What was that guy? Not James Wood. One of the young in America, the young boy who's an atheist. I forget his name now.
Aaron Ra?
No.
What's a young boy, bro? How is Aaron Ra a young boy?
He's a very atheist person. Anyway, never mind. But you do a very good job, and as you do, Brother Isa as well. And keep me in your du'as, inshallah. And I will look forward to.
We'll have you on next week again, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much. Where are you from?
I'm in Chigwell in Essex.
Oh, nice.
Oh, mashallah. Okay, local.
Where are you?
Northwest London.
Oh, Northwest London. The other side.
The other side. Well, we can't visit. It's a lockdown.
Yeah, that's right. But you yourself and SC Dawah and EF Dawah and Dawah Wise and all the other brothers who are doing these channels, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that you're doing. It's keeping everybody not being educated at the same time. It's giving people to do and making their faith more stronger. And people like myself who is new in this Dawah, I'm just doing Ayera's Gorap as well at the moment.
Mashallah.
I'm on the last couple of pages. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful the way it's set out. You listen to the video and you do the questionnaires and you get the questions wrong. And although you can carry on, but it's nice to go back and get them right again. And you think, I'm sure that was the answer. That was the right answer. So it makes you think. You're not just going past and saying, "No, I've completed it." Beautiful, beautiful one as well. And at the same time, we on Marketplace and on Facebook, me and my wife, we give out free Qurans to non-Muslims as well. I go through about maybe 100 Qurans a week. We send them out free of charge with postage and everything else, and we buy them in from IDCI in Birmingham, and some brothers who donate the Qurans as well. It's a funny story, I tell you. When I first came to Islam, well, not came to Islam, but started practicing Islam, we've got a local cemetery, Garden of Peace, where I live, just 2 minutes where we live from. I used to go there and on Friday after Jummah prayer and just make there's no one buried there that I know, but the brothers and sisters are buried there. We make dua for them, inshallah. Allah make it easy for them because we're going to join them one day or another. And people used to bring bags and bags of Qurans and literature there, and just for them to burn. And I used to think, why people doing this? Beautiful Qurans and very, very nice and brand new. Some are even sealed, not even been opened. So I talked to the guy. I said, "What you do?" He goes, "We burn them in the skip there, and then we bury them." And I started taking them. I said, "Do you mind if I take some?" And my wife, I bought them. My wife, she goes, "Where'd you get this?" I said, "From the Qabristan, from Garden of Peace." Because me and my wife used to do car boot sales. So we started doing car boot sales. And we started giving free crowns there. And then people wanted English ones and German ones and French ones and Hebrew ones and all the other languages. So I have a whole library at the back in my shed where we distribute free Qurans as well. Make dua for me as well, the Qurans that we give, inshallah.
Wow.
And we did 2 shahadas on WhatsApp as well. Some brothers.
Allah,
So that is
Allah is guiding me, and inshallah doing this reward and this little effort that we put in. May Allah reward us not here but in the akhirah, inshallah.
I mean, that's amazing.
may Allah bless you. It's so much fun talking to you, and make dua for us, inshallah.
Inshallah, Allah make easy for all the Muslim brothers and all the ummah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, brothers.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi
Bro,
wa
that has to be one of the greatest guests we've ever had on the show.
Absolutely.
No, I could tell, I saw, because we can see everyone at the bottom. I could just see it. I was like, this is going to be good, man. MashaAllah. That was
Are
amazing.
we going to the end of the show? So one more person.
Yeah, so guys, we've only got 9 minutes left. So we have to finish, inshallah, because we need to go home as once. It's snowing outside, so it's not that safe, is it? So,
Yeah, and Jerry's dead.
bro,
Jeffrey.
what is-
Let's call him Jeffrey.
Go pick him up. Put him back on the pole, please.
Come on!
I mean,
Motivational
the
coach. You can
stand.
do it. You can do it. I believe in you.
Okay. Hey, just put it on top of that, please.
Yeah.
So you have one job to do. Don't mess it up. Everyone's watching you. Alright. Okay, let's continue, inshallah. We have Arsalan Khan, we'll bring him on, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam to all the brothers, Brother Isa and Sabur. How are you guys doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Well, in regards to the topic, I do have one story to share. I was in school quite young. I went with my parents for Umrah. And when I was actually looking at the Kaaba, I saw everybody weeping and crying, and I thought there was something there that made everybody cry. So I tried to go near, and as I went there, I made dua, and I realized, I was looking at myself, I was like, why am I not crying, and why are all these people crying? I don't know, it's just such a silly feeling at that time when I had. I just wanted to share it with you.
SubhanAllah. Were you there or was it a dream?
No, I was there. I was in school. I was quite young. I didn't understand much of it.
Ah, I see. MashaAllah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Jazakallah khair. Okay. Yeah, that's it, I guess. Sabur, any other memories that come back to you that you want to share with people? With this green screen doesn't work, man. It's just too short. Like literally, it's like a blanket that's too short. Like you pull it, it uncovers your feet. You pull it down, it uncovers your top.
Do a single. Let's see how it happens with single. Go on. Do it. Yes, fine. Single's perfect.
It's not perfect, bro, but it's okay.
Yeah, single's good.
Yeah, it's better. All right, you stay out. This is my show now. No, Jake, come back in. We're gonna finish soon.
All right.
So guys, basically, Sabur, I love you. Nice office. That's not office. Okay, so any other memories that come back to you?
I mean, it's a bit of a weird one, but you know, when you live in the West, um, certain memories, and it shows you the power of um, the social engineering, the social environment. When I was a kid, I remember it was Christmas, and I remember everybody, my friends at school, the whole society, and this is when we were living in Oxford, and it was like the winter time. Of course, it's December, it's going to be the winter time. And, I remember, thinking to myself, oh, everybody's celebrating Christmas. Why aren't we celebrating Christmas as a child? And obviously, we as Muslims, we don't celebrate Christmas, right? But later on, when I was much older, I remembered that and I thought, oh my God, that's the power of your social environment. That as a child, I had no idea what Christmas was, but I was upset because everybody was celebrating it, but we were not celebrating it. And it made me very sad. And I remember that. And it's a good lesson in terms of how the society can affect you and how you're affected by the majority.
That's crazy. Can you answer this question?
What's that? Okay, banning, is it you have in your... I don't even understand.
Just answer him.
I don't. Aku, what? Oh, Aki, banning, is it your country flag?
I did not know what they were saying, right? Until I realized there's someone with the name Aku Banning. Look, Aku Bani.
Oh, right.
Yeah, subhanAllah, guys. I know how people type the boat. I was holding myself back with the other guests. I was seeing these comments coming up with the dog, and they were just so funny. Someone was like dog 101 lessons, but it was so funny.
How to protect against dogs.
Yeah. But it was really, really funny. Let me see if I can find something. Someone said boy, boy, boy. What does that mean?
That's hijab, isn't it?
Guys, I told hijab. It's saying you make a t-shirt that says you're finished and then just sell it. I was like, people will buy it. Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea?
Good idea.
Okay, let's bring the new one. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How's it going?
Yeah, good.
Did you want to talk about memory or experience of yours?
Yeah, I was gonna, but I forgot what I was gonna talk about.
Oh man,
That's all right. It's all
it
right.
happens. It happens. You can replace that quite easily by telling us what you had for lunch today.
For
No,
lunch,
no lunch.
I think it was like a packet of crisps.
No way, you're on diet.
Yeah.
MashaAllah, brilliant. Jazakallah khair. Cool. All right, now when you remember it next time, come back on.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Welcome.
Salaam alaikum.
All right, that's about it. I guess we don't have anyone else. Bro, tell Muhammad Hijab I will knock him out in boxing match.
Who's that?
Bolan Jody.
Right.
I definitely buy that, says Saad Hussein. All right, there's a lot of demand for this.
All right, Jazakallah khair, everybody. We'll be back next week for Mind Asylum. And hopefully...
Look, someone just said something. Wait.
What?
What if Hijab, someone said girl, 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 because equality, question mark. What if Hijab started to say girl, girl, you'll get destroyed. You finish. Wow, that's so funny.
You know, how far are you going to take it? Like, with this thing about, oh, we have to change everything, yeah? You can't even say history. You have to say her story.
That's nonsense.
Is it? What's your pronoun? Sorry, guys. All right.
Oh, don't reveal the green screen, man. Let them think it's oh no, it's green. Anyways, Jazakallah khair, guys. Inshallah, we'll be back next week. Comment below what topic you want us to cover next week, inshallah, and we'll go through it.
I want to fix this green screen. Like, that's how you fix it, bro. There you go.
So what happens when you get a haircut?
Oh, there's a gap. Yeah, but you could just do that.
No, it's not. Okay. We're gonna get this right before we stop today.
There you go. No, come,
Right, come.
like that. Yeah.
No, man, you can see on the side.
Okay, there you go.
Right,
Yeah,
come
now there you go.
Yeah,
Done.
Come over. Get in the shot, man. Oh, you're gonna stay there the whole thing. So we're freaking people out. Like,
That's what my daughter does on my live stream. She sticks her face right there.
that is too
You know,
funny.
I had Sheikh Fadl Suleiman on the live stream, yeah, and she turned up, looked at him, and said, "You're funny." It was hilarious.
You know, Jazakallah khair, everyone. People say thank you. My daughter, yeah, she thinks I'm always talking to people. I'm like, Sabu bro, yeah, what's going on? Should I pick you up? Blah blah blah. She thinks everyone I speak to is someone called bro. It's all one person. It's all one person. She's like, are you speaking to bro?
That's quite funny.
Sabu will get a fresh fade. Guys, I did say to Sabur that basically if he colored his hair white and he wore a topi, he would look like, you know, those US judges who wear that thing on their head with the white hair locks hanging off. All right. I think we've done enough of this live stream.
All right.
Today, inshallah. Until next time, everyone. Jazakallah khair. Take care, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, sorry. I was going to do